Today I'm going to show you how to make this adorable hedgehog pincushion.
Not only is this the cutest pincushion ever, it also has functionality as a pin sharpener.
The secret in this pincushion is that it is full of steel wool, which is available at hardware stores. Steel wool acts as an abrasive to sharpen your pins and needles when you put them in the pincushion.
The pins will look like hedgehog spines when they're in the cushion. This is also a great scrap buster project because the pieces are so small. Start off by printing off the templates from my website. You can find the link in the description below. You'll also need to collect fabric for the face and the body. Lightweight fusible interfacing to give the hedgehog a little bit of structure. Scraps of quilt batting. Superfine steel wool. If you're shopping for this, look for the 4 zeros. And then you'll need an embroidery floss and a needle. This will be for the eye. You'll also need a fabric marker and not pictured spray-based and regular filling. We're going to start by fusing the interfacing to the back of the main fabric. Make sure the adhesive side of the interfacing is down and then press well. Now we're going to fold the fabric in half and cut out 2 layers of the hedgehog body piece. We want to cut this on folded fabric so we get 2 opposite pieces or mirror image of each other. Now we're going to fuse interfacing to the back of the face fabric. Fuse 2 layers of interfacing on this piece. We need extra stability on this piece since we're going to embroider an eye. Now cut out 2 layers just like you did with the body piece. They should be mirror image of each other. Use a fabric marker to draw in that little sleepy eye on both sides. Thread the embroidery needle and tie a knot at the end of your thread. We are going to embroider the eye with a back stitch. The back stitch starts about a stitch length away from where you want the line to start. So put your needle in through the back and then go back to the start of the eye. Pull that down and then we're going to do that again. So notice where the needle's going in. It's going in about 2 or 3 millimeters ahead of that stitch and then going back to meet it. Continue embroidering that eye until you're finished and then tie it off on the back. Repeat on the other side of the face. Now we're going to attach the face to the body. So take your face and put it right side down on the hedgehog's body. You want the hedgehog's face piece to go over the hedgehog body at the bottom just a little bit. That way when our stitching line comes in at 1/4 inch, it'll be matched up. Pin that in place and then sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Repeat on both sides. Now press the face open with the seam allowance pointed toward the body of the hedgehog. Top stitch along that body piece about 1/8 of an inch from that seam. Now we're going to spray baste the hedgehog to a layer of batting. Spray it on the batting to get it tacky and then push your hedgehog down carefully. Trim around the hedgehog to get rid of the excess batting and repeat with the other side. Once you have your 2 pieces ready, we're going to lay them on top of each other with right sides together and line up all those little spikes and all the curved edges. Now sew all the way around this, leaving an opening at the back edge right here behind the foot. Use a 1/4 inch seam allowance or even a little tiny bit less, and then go in with your scissors and trim out all the in-between points between those spikes and the top of the spikes and the curves. Now you're going to turn it right side out. This is actually the hardest part of the project just because your hole is so little and your fabric is thick, but use a chopstick and then press as you go. Once your little guy is turned right side out, use regular fiber fill stuffing to stuff the head and the spikes of the hedgehog. Use a chopstick to move that around, and then we're going to put the steel wool in the belly of the hedgehog. I don't really like the feel of this, so I'm using a glove, but I don't think you really need to. It's not sharp, it's just really feels like wool. So we're going to stuff that in. You can just tear pieces off and push it in with your chopstick until you have enough in there. Steel wool is really dense, so it'll take a little bit more than you think to get it in there. But once you have enough, you can finish off your hedgehog with some more fiber fill, especially if your spikes aren't as stuffed as you want them. The last step is to hand sew the hedgehog closed at the opening that you left. Press those seam allowances in and pin it in place, and then use a ladder stitch to finish closing it. Once you finish that step, your hedgehog is done and ready to sharpen all your dull pins and needles.
Thanks for sewing with me today. For more great projects, click above.